A former Panthers player just went in on the Panthers defense, and I'm going to tell you who it is.
Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any video from my channel.
Yo! Welcome to LCameraTV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with y'all cool things like Facebook and Renan and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, don't forget to hit the bell notification, man. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. I upload randomly, so I don't want you to miss out. So definitely hit the bell notification, man. When you see the squiggly lines, you know you have been notified. And guys, we got a lot to talk about. A former Panthers player, you know, took a shot at the defense, and we definitely got to talk about that. A current Panthers player said he's taking all the blame for this L that we took against the Lions. I definitely got to talk about that. And I got to get into, you know, a certain comment, you know what I'm saying, a person left in my, you know, my comment section that I got to get into, man. So we got a lot to talk about, guys. So let's get started. So former Panthers linebacker Jon Beason tore into the Panthers defense. He basically said that, you know, these guys don't want to tackle anymore. They feel like somebody else is going to do it. You know, they're not wrapping up. And the reason why you have guys like Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly and all these veterans is, you know, obviously for them to, you know, basically cultivate the defense. In the sense that Jon Beason said we can't really blame the coaching staff. We gotta blame the players because, like they said, coaches coach, players play. You know what I'm saying? And as a captain of a defense, you gotta hold your, you know, the players on your team accountable. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of agree to that because, again, coaches can only say certain things. They can tell you, they can run the plays, they can set us, you know, stuff up. And I ain't gonna lie, especially when you have a coach for a while, like Eric Washington been there for a while, stuff tends to fall on deaf ears after a while. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. When you guys, you know, were younger or whatever, or when everybody was younger and your parents would say the same thing over and over again, after a while, your parents were falling on deaf ears. You didn't really listen to them no more because they're your parents. I mean, sometimes your parents will tell you some stuff, you know what I'm saying, and it'll be the truth, it'll be the right statement, but because your parents are saying it, it's like you didn't hear it. I know I've been like that when I was, you know, younger, whatever, when I was a teenager. So, you know, that happens. But once somebody else that's close to you, whatever, tells you the same thing, it's like a whole breath of fresh air. It's like a whole new idea. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've definitely done that. And that's what the players are supposed to be. The captains of the team are supposed to be the extension of the coaching staff. That's why they're the captains. That's why they get elected as captains, because they're great at their jobs, and, you know, they're the leaders of the team, whatever, on that side of the field. So you got the offensive captains, you know, Greg Olsen, Ryan Khalil, Cam Newton, stuff like that. And you got the defensive captains, you know what I'm saying, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, you know what I'm saying, players like that. So he's saying that, you know, it falls on the players to get these guys in line. And it also falls, as, you know, and also these guys feel like someone else is going to tackle them. And I agree, man. In the sense of this, our team, like last year, it's not even a long time ago. Last year, our team was a way better defense. You know what I'm saying? We tackled better, was more disciplined in our fundamentals. We attacked the right gaps. You know what I'm saying? We just played better. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a huge difference from this year. It just we played better last year. And this year, it just seems like, you know, a lot of the plays that are happening, it's just undisciplined plays. It's like, you know, they're supposed to stop this guy in the backfield, but instead of wrapping up, they're doing these arm tackles the guys are breaking out of. And you know what I'm saying? Like, they're running the ball, and everybody's supposed to hit a certain gap, whatever, and instead of being disciplined and staying in your gap coverage, you try to read the play and overreact, and then the guy goes in the gap that you're supposed to be in. Stuff like that. That's all discipline. That's not coaching, you know what I'm saying? And Luke Kuechly was very good at that. But I see Luke Kuechly even doing, you know, some of those mistakes where he's like overreading things and going into the wrong holes. Now, mind you, Luke Kuechly's still the one tackling, but be honest with you, I think Luke Kuechly last game had 11 tackles. I think Mike Adams was the second with like 9. And then Thomas Davis and Shaq Thompson had like 6 each. That's an issue, man. That is an issue. And the reason why I say that, because Luke is always going to be great. Cool. Thomas Davis is going to retire. He's the third, like, you know, tied for third with most tackles. Shaq Thompson, you know what I'm saying, he should be second. I'm not going to lie. In my opinion, he should be second. You're a linebacker. It is what it is. But the reason why teams have been running the ball on us so effectively, the reason why, you know, we can't stop anybody is because these guys are not playing disciplined football. They're, you know, they're like, obviously against the Steelers, James Bradbury, you know what I'm saying, he tried to overthink and you know, jump, not jump the route, but like, you know, he seen that, you know what I'm saying, there was a guy cutting down. he bit on that and let Juju Smith-Schuster run up the seam, and that's how he got beat for a big play. That's dirty eyes is what they call it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, misreads and misassignments, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just little small things that they're doing, that this team is doing, whatever, that's causing the lack of defense in that sense. And, you know, Jon Beason obviously was a great linebacker for us. His whole issue was he started having injuries that kind of broke down his body. But when he was there, he was a beast. I was definitely a Jon Beason fan. He was definitely a beast. And he's right for calling him out, man. And hopefully this is a wake-up call. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you kind of revitalize these guys to play harder. But they're not playing like the defense of old, and that's a problem. Ron Rivera's got to figure something out, man, because it might be a situation where his voice is falling on deaf ears, man, because especially he's been the coach for like 8 years. Sooner, like usually when, you know what I'm saying, you hear somebody say the same speeches. And as a coach, you sit, you know what I'm saying, like you have inspirational speeches, and in the beginning they inspire you. But when you hear those speeches 2, 3, 4 times, now it becomes like, you know, oh, he's saying this again. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want that from Ron Rivera. So you got to figure out how he's going to, you know, revitalize this defense and help out the team in general. Because if our defense is not, you know, stopping nobody, it's really hard to win games. Our offense has gotten better, but it's not the Chiefs. It's not the Rams. We're not, you know, putting up a bunch of points. So we protect ourselves on the run game and the defense, and everything else builds from that. The run game is doing good. The defense is not playing well. You know what I'm saying? So we need that defensive side to step it up. And in other news, Devin Funchess said basically the whole loss he blames on himself. He takes all responsibility for the loss against the Detroit Lions. Now, me personally, I feel like he's right. You know what I'm saying? I also feel like he's right. You do got to take a lot of the blame because you didn't come and play. You didn't perform. You know what I'm saying? You didn't perform well. You know, I actually went back and looked at his stats the last 2 years, because you can't blame him for the first 2 years of his career because he wasn't really getting that much touches and that much playing time. But the last 2 years, he only had 100-yard receiving game. Devin Funchess has only 514 yards on the season, and we played 10 games already. He has 3 passing touchdowns. Devin Funchess is not living up to that #1 billing. He's not living up to, you know, I feel like Christian McCaffrey's a better receiver than him. And I like Devin Funchess. But I'm saying, I'm looking at it as this. If you want to get paid, if you want to be, you know what I'm saying, paid good money, you had to show up. You had to show that you could be a #1 receiver and even a solid #2 receiver. He doesn't seem like neither one. He seems like he could be a #3 receiver. I mean, put this in context. He has one I think, game in the last 2 years of over 100 yards, right? And it was like 108, I think. DJ Moore just got 159 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore, he has 3 touchdowns on the season. I think DJ Moore has 2 touchdowns on the season. And DJ Moore played way less snaps than he did. Devin Funchess really needs to pick it up. And he disappeared against that Detroit game. Now, mind you, like I said, you know what I'm saying, there's certain people who rise to the occasion when they play in front of their family and friends. And there's other people who shrink. And I think Devin Funchess is one of the people who shrinks in that situation. He played horrible in front of, you know, Detroit. And it's probably because he got his own head. Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying, it happens, whatever. But I'm just looking at production, because production causes payment. You know what I'm saying? When somebody produces, you have to pay them. His production doesn't show that he deserves to get paid. And obviously, Kelvin Benjamin, obviously his production wasn't showing that either, so they traded him. So I don't know what they're going to do with Devin Funchess as far as that. But I don't see him getting paid, man. I don't see him getting paid. He is not playing up to a caliber of somebody who should get paid, in my opinion. And, you know, I like him. I like Devin Funchess. He's, you know, no nonsense. He's not, you know, drama queen or anything like that. Whatever he comes, he produces. But he just doesn't show up when in clutch moments. He doesn't really show up. Like, he's not a reliable receiver, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know what I'm saying, in general. So, he's not that reliable. He doesn't really produce. He hasn't had a 1,000-yard season yet. Now, mind you, I'm not counting the first 2 years. Because, again, the first 2 years, he was, like I said, a rotational player. Last year, I think mid-season, he became the #1 receiver. He had 800, right? So I'm thinking, okay, this year he's going to have 1,000 because now, you know, you don't have Kelvin Benjamin taking a lot of your touches away and, you know, a lot of your targets away. This year, he has even less yardage. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, you still got, you know, 6 more games left, but you know, he probably's going to get the 300 yards, but I don't know if he's going to get the 1,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? He has to get 500 yards in 6 games, and he got 500 yards in a total of 10 games. So, in my opinion, Devin Funchess definitely takes, you know, a big part of the blame. Like I said in my last video, I created another pod just to give him 100% of that because he didn't perform, man. And it was really sad because I think he, you know what I'm saying, he had great opportunities. You know what I'm saying? There was one play, he had the man beat, he jumps in the air, I guess he mistimed his jump, and the ball basically hits him right in the hands, and, you know, because he hadn't adjusted the ball correctly, the ball hits the ground. There was another pass, he was basically wide open, Cam throws him the ball, he's supposed to slide and catch it, and he drops it. You know what I'm saying? There's another touchdown pass, Cam throws it right to him, and he drops it. So, like, he played pretty badly in this game, and I'm just thinking about, you know, as far as allocating money, I don't think he deserves that much. So, Devin, you know, I like you, you're a good guy, but production causes payment. You know what I'm saying? Production is what gets you paid, and your production is not worth being paid, in my opinion. And just to let y'all know real quick, before I get into my next topic, Devin Funchess, in the last 2 times he played Detroit, in the last 2 years, which is funny, he played Detroit in the last 2 years. But last year he had, I think, 7 receptions for 53 yards and a touchdown. That's not that great. I mean, you know, it's whatever. And then this year he had 2 receptions for 39 yards and no touchdown. So you can see he doesn't play really well in Detroit in general. But I digress. So another thing I want to talk to you guys about is a certain person. I think his name was George Brown. He was in my comment section. And this guy was reaming me out, man. He said I'm a fair weather fan. He's not going to listen to me anymore. This, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay. He's saying that's not keep pounding mentality. All this. He said I'm bad luck, bad karma, whatever. You know, this and the third, right? This is my thing, guys, right? I rock with you guys. I rock with y'all nonstop, right? I appreciate everything y'all do and everything like that. But in the end of the day, this is my opinion. This is what I believe. This is how I feel. I'm telling you to you guys. Now, I love my Panthers. I'm a Panthers fan. But at the end of the day, as a Panthers fan, you got to be able to be critical of your team. And I was critical of my team. The reason why I am critical of my team is because we can play better than this. I seen when we played, you know, better than this. Even this season, we played better than this. So to lose to the Detroit Lions because the defense is not holding up, when I seen the defense hold the Cowboys to 8 points. This is the same Cowboys team that dropped a bunch of points on the Jaguars. This is the same Cowboys team that just beat the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know, when I seen them beat the Ravens badly. When I seen them beat the Tampa Bay Bucks badly. This is the Tampa Bay Bucks team that put the only loss on the Saints. We can play better than this. We can play better than this. I know we can. I've seen us play better than this. So when I'm doing my videos, you know what I'm saying, and I'm talking to you guys because I rock with y'all, you know what I'm saying, just like I rock with me, I'm just being honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all my point of view and my perspective. Now, I love my Panthers fan. I'm going to love my Panthers, and I'm going to be a Panthers fan whether we win or lose. But you got to be able to be critical of your team. You got to be able to be honest with your, you know, I got to be able to be honest with you guys and with myself. You know what I'm saying? If I see, like, obviously Jon Beason is upset for a reason. It's not stuff I'm just making up out of the thin air. We all watch the games. We see the defense is not holding up. You know what I'm saying? We all watch the games. We know our team is better than this. We get a 80-something yard run from DJ Moore, and we can't even get a touchdown on that play. You know, we couldn't even get a field goal or extra point. Like, these are certain things, like, that have to happen. And the team is good enough to do those things. So I'm going to be critical of my team because I like my team, because I'm invested in my team. And I feel like Marty Herney, in general, you know, got a job because he was cool with Jerry Richardson. But I don't think that's going to last with David Tipper. You know what I'm saying? I think Eric Washington got the position, obviously because he's part of Ron Rivera's coaching tree, but he's not doing his job correctly. You know what I'm saying? And I think the defense has gotten complacent and is not doing simple things they've been doing for years, which is tackling well, which is being fundamentally sound, which is, you know, being disciplined. They're not doing those things. And Jon Beason sees it, I see it, and tons of other people see it in general. The defense is not holding up. And not just that, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things that are factoring in. Torrey Smith, you know, getting all these snaps, even though DJ Moore is, you know, obviously clearly a better player. You know what I'm saying? Curtis Samuel not getting enough snaps. But, you know, Devin Funchess, I like Devin Funchess, but he's not, you know, holding up his end of the bargain as a number one receiver, is getting a bunch of snaps. You know, is there certain things that are happening that, you know, as a fan, it upsets you? And I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys because I rock with you guys. So, you know, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, if anybody decides to unsubscribe, man, you know, I'll rock with y'all. I hope you wouldn't, but, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to say my point of view because it's my channel. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, you know what I'm saying, like I said, thank y'all for always supporting, man, and all that stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, you can call me a fair weather fan. You can call me whatever you think, man. But at the end of the day, man, I'm a Panthers fan. I love my Panthers. We're always going to keep pounding. Whether we're freaking going to the Super Bowl or we're, you know, picking first in the draft, I'm always going to be a Panthers fan. That's what I rock with. That's what I am. That's who I, you know, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I like talking to my Panther fans because I like talking with you guys, man. You guys, you know, are part of my motivation. So, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Brown, whoever, you know, whoever you are, like I said, if you don't want to be a part of my channel no more, you know, see ya. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, guys, everybody that's rocking with me, thank y'all for staying rocking with me, man. I just tell y'all how I feel about situations, man. So, I want to get it all off my chest. I want to talk to y'all about that because I know some people feel like, oh, yeah, well, he's saying this. I'm just being critical of my team because you should be critical of your team. Just like Skip Bayless is, just like Shannon Sharp is. If you like a team, you got to be man enough to be like, hey, they're messing up, all right? If I have a friend of mine that he's doing something stupid, I got to be man enough to say, hey, you got to do better than that. Because at the end of the day, I got to be a real friend. I got to be a real fan and be like, hey, we're not doing the right thing, so we need to change that. I mean, let's be honest. Do you think Ron Rivera, after losses, is saying, hey, guys, we almost won? No, of course not. He's telling them, hey, man, we didn't do this right. We didn't do that right. And even when the referees, you know what I'm saying, like a Steelers game, are basically, you know, pinned against us, what did he say? We don't put the game in the referee's hands. We, you know, dictate what we do. Referees, you can't count on them. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So Ron Rivera saying the same thing. I'm saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you know what I'm saying, things should have went differently. Things should have went differently. But at the end of the day, it's up to the players to play the game. And I'm critical of them because I know they can do better. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I rock with y'all. Thank y'all for all supporting, man. But, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, I got to speak my mind because this is my channel and this is what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Well, that's it for me, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share for cool things like Facebook and Reddit, Instagram, wherever else. Y'all already know what it is, man. Get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about the Jon Beason situation. I agree with Jon Beason. Let me know how y'all feel about it, whatever. He feel like them boys not playing hard. I kind of agree on the defensive side because they're missing tackles and doing things that they never done before. So that's my opinion on that. Let me know how you feel about Devin Funchess. Should he get paid? Should he not get paid? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, man, how you feel about, you know what I'm saying, people saying you're a fair weather fan if you critique your team. Let me know in the comment section below because I love my Panthers. I know I'm a Panthers fan, but I guess people don't like, you know what I'm saying, criticism. Whatever. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shares, you know, check out the LCameraTV apparel. Shirts, hats, mugs, all types of cool stuff. Links in the description below. Check out the LCameraTV apparel page, man. I'll drop a new design out there, man. Definitely want you guys to check it out. Cops and stuff, whatever. New designs are coming. I'm trying to, you know, I'm thinking about another design to give y'all, whatever. And when I get it situated, whatever, y'all definitely see it. So check out the apparel page. Y'all already know what it is. Check out the Patreon page. That link is in the description below. Exclusive content, shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff, man. Definitely check out the Patreon page. Check out my dog Renan page. His video is going to be very in-screen of mine. You know, it's basically very end of the video. Very funny dude, very talented. Like I said, we got some collab videos coming. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stuff, you know, we're working on together. So definitely check out his stuff. Show love. Keep that trickle effect going. Share this with all your Panther family, friends, you might Panther related, you might football related, anybody, anything related. You know what I'm saying? Share with them, man. Let them know LCameraTV is rocking Panther Nation rocking with LCameraTV. Thank y'all for always showing love and always rocking with me, man. You know what I'm saying? I really rock with the people that ride with me, man. Like, obviously, everything you say is not going to be liked or appreciated. But for the day ones that I got, for the people that always show love, for the people that share my videos and you know what I'm saying, watch my other content, whether it's on my channel or my dog's channel, whatever. Thank y'all for always showing love, man. You guys are ride or die. I rock with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who really rock with me, and I thank y'all for that, man. It's really a blessing, man. So I'm going to see you guys next time. Peace.